I'm going to go ahead and open up the meeting for tonight. Special. Good evening, everyone. On this Tuesday. See your puppy's barking back. Yep, he's saying good evening too. Yep. Well, as I get started, I like to read our mission statement. The mission of Golden Speakers is to create a supportive and positive learning environment in which each member has the opportunity to develop verbal communication and leadership skills, which of course fosters self-confidence and personal growth. I'm going to pass it off to our Toastmaster this evening, which happens to be me. Yay! And as my role as Toastmaster, it is my role to introduce the role players. And starting off with the timer, which again is me, I will let you know how it works. For our prepared speech, for our table topics, I will show a green card at 1 minute. And at 1 minute, 30 seconds, you'll have a yellow. 2 minutes, you'll have a red. And at which time you'll have 30 seconds to wrap it up. For our evaluators this evening, they will have 2 minutes. We'll have the green. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the yellow. And 3 minutes for the red. And we will go ahead and call on our grammarian, Mr. Art Atkinson. Art, can you tell us that?
Yes, thank you. My role as grammarian has 2 parts. One of them is to select the word of the day, which I have selected and will put in the chat momentarily. The word of the evening is reprise or reprise, meaning to do a second or repeat performance of something, perhaps a piece of music or another kind of performance, perhaps on a stage. An example of the word as a verb, he reprises his role as the Pope. It can also be used as a noun, referring to his performance was a reprise of his role as the Pope. I will put this in the chat momentarily. There is something in the chat already which you can ignore. It was an experiment by me which I should have performed somewhere else instead of in the meeting. The other part of my role is to listen to the language that people use in speaking tonight and to notice any particularly memorable or impressive turns of phrase and to listen for any grammatical errors if there happen to be any and give a report at the end of the meeting on uses of the word of the evening and grammar. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Art. Moving on to our awe counter, Mr. Karthik Kanapan. Karthik, can you share your role for this evening?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you're watching. The purpose of awe counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. I listen for overused words, including and well, but so, and you know. So I will also listen for filler words such as I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Karthik. Later in the meeting, our general evaluator will be Mr. Art Atkinson, and our joke master for this evening will be Alex Givens. Now, we are going to move on to, Dan, what are we going to do for Jean, right? She's having a speech tonight.
I have, Bob, there's something, we had some guests briefly on screen, and I think it would be good in the future when guests show up on screen that we speak to them immediately so we don't lose them like we've apparently lost these two.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I did not see them because in order to read the itinerary, I had our screens on just the person speaking and a small box to the left, so I did not see anybody pop on. My apologies.
We do have someone right now on, Abraha Azwado. Abraha, are you there? Well,
Can you hear us, Abraham?
well, he or she is wanting to just quietly watch. We'll give you the invitation if you want to either pop in, say hello, or participate with our table topics, for example. But we're glad you're here, and we'll keep going with our meeting.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jean.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pass it off back to Dan. Is that correct, Dan?
Yes, thank you, Bob. Tonight, Jean is doing a reprise of her speech from last week. It's called What the Heck?
Dan, I'm able to hear an echo of what you're speaking.
I can't stop it until I quit speaking. Thank you. It's a reprise because last week I didn't manage to stop it while Jean was speaking, which was pretty disorienting. But let me quickly read the purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. As I said, the title is What the Heck? I'm going to mute myself and stop this echo. I'll give it over to our Toastmaster, Bob, for the introduction.
Thank you, Dan. You have to excuse me. I'm trying to juggle this at the same time. Jean, before I begin, did you send me something? If you did, I have not seen it. Dan, could I call you again? I have not seen or someone else. It has not come through. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I just received it. Thank you. Okay. Jean has been a Toastmaster since 2006 and is a Distinguished Toastmaster, DTM. She has served in a variety of officer roles within the Golden Speakers Club, including president. In addition, she serves as club liaison at the Conscious Communicators Toastmasters Club at the Iowa State Penitentiary Maximum Security Facility for Men in Fort Madison, where she is also a member. Tonight, Jean is doing the effective body language project in the presentation mastery level. Her title is What the Heck? Please help us warmly welcome Miss Jean Symington Craig.
What the heck? Fellow Toastmasters, honored guest. I've mentioned before that I played with the Berwyn, Pennsylvania Conestoga High School, and I have a logo shirt right here from my class, the girls' tennis team back in the early 70s. Our 1971 team was undefeated, and throughout the season, we were hot. I played #1 singles. Here are a couple of pictures from that time. Can you go back to the first one? Okay. Before I get into tonight's story, it's important that I have shown you how a tennis serve is executed. Here, I'm going to demonstrate. As a left-hander, I hold the racket in my left hand and I hold the ball in my right hand. When I bring the racket down, I bring it back behind me, back up behind my head, a little circle, and we're going to pause right there. Meanwhile, my hand with the ball is going down and up, tossing the ball up into the air over my head. The goal is to have my racket extend up almost in a throw motion and hit the ball right when the ball is neither coming up nor going down, just perfectly positioned, and then stepping forward and having momentum and power. Now we can go on with the story. It was a sunny spring day in 1971. Our team was playing an away match at a school that had a string of tennis courts, and then off to my left, there was a baseball field. It was far enough away that there was no disturbance from noise. The boys' baseball team was practicing that day, but they were pretty far off. I was playing on a center, well, it wasn't a center court, but it was a middle court, and I had a couple of matches, other matches going on beside me. The plot starts to thicken. I was ready to serve. It was my turn, and I was feeling pretty good about my prospects for this match. I turned and went back to the baseline and readied myself to give a strong, powerful, hopefully accurate serve to the other side. In order to understand and absorb the next few moments, we're going to go to slow motion. As I brought my racket down and bringing it back behind me, as we've demonstrated, I became vaguely aware of shouting going on from the baseball field. And I was looking, but I didn't get distracted because guys at that age, they're always shouting about something. So I wasn't going to get worried, and I wasn't going to let them throw me off of my game. As my racket completed its path, I tossed the ball up, 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 and I watched it ascend to just where I wanted to hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, the next image is permanently etched in my mind. And here's what happened. I tossed and watched one ball go up, and I watched two balls come down. One of those balls was going faster and harder and hit me right into my right shoulder. I was shocked. I was bewildered. When does that ever happen? I looked around, and that's when I saw the boys the boys baseball team, entire group of guys running flat out towards the courts. I could see on individual faces, they were aghast at the probable damage that was inflicted on a visiting girls tennis team member as a runaway fly baseball dropped out of the sky and hit her mid-swing. The girls on the courts on either side, they just stopped what they were doing, opened their mouths, just, whoa, what was that? The coaches came running over saying, oh, are you hurt? Do we need to get a doctor? It was quite a scene with all these people checking me out. However, I waved everyone back saying, hey, I'm fine. And I'm totally good to continue on with my match. At that point, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. I gave the impression that being hit by something as trivial as a hard ball speeding out of the sky and landing on me was just one of those unexpected events that happen in competition. No big deal. Let's not overreact, people. Boys went back to the baseball field. The girls went back to their matches. And the best part was our team beat their team. I won my match. And probably the most fulfilling piece of all was that I got major points for carrying on despite being hit by this baseball and for coolness under pressure.
Well, as normal, what we do, everyone, is we take 2 minutes to send something to Jean in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and reset the timer. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start it right now and go ahead and send something to Jean. That's time. 2 minutes. Now, the question is, Mr. Timer, which is me, Mr. Timer, did our speaker qualify? Yes, our speaker qualified. Well, thank you, Mr. Timer. And we are going to be moving on. Art? Oh, excuse me.
Yes, Bob, what?
Yeah, are you going to evaluate this now or at the end of the meeting? I'm confused.
It's
Okay.
actually,
The general evaluator.
Later? Okay.
You have to finish the table topics
Okay.
evaluations before I swing into action.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we're going to move on to our table topics, which is,
Bob, let me go ahead and I'm doing the speech evaluation.
oh, that's okay. I was reading the thing. I read the wrong one. Dan's doing the evaluation. Okay.
Okay. By the way, is your video disabled, Bob?
Is it what?
Your video is off.
It is? I didn't know that. Is that better?
It is.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Something is
Did you see
preventing
my
me
cards then, Jean?
What?
Did you see my cards when how long's my video been on?
No, I didn't. I couldn't watch the cards because I was in a special blog.
They didn't show anyway. Your video was black.
I didn't know
Oh,
my
really?
okay. Here I was, so, okay. Sorry.
Good time was had by all.
You did good,
And-
Jean.
Yeah,
I
well,
have a
and-
little problem in that it says that the host has stopped me from turning on my video. Is that intentional?
Not for me.
No, sorry. Just a mistake, I guess. You should have a message. Okay. Okay, everybody, I was really looking forward to getting this project done and overcoming all the technical difficulties, and we got it done. The technical difficulties are still trying to rear their ugly heads, but we'll keep going. Jean, could you close your door?
Okay. And just to say, if you guys want to see those tennis pictures again, because we went through those pretty quick, we might need to do that.
We'll
'Cause
do that at the end of the meeting.
that's a trip.
All right. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Jean. I enjoyed seeing this project again. I enjoyed it a lot more this time because I wasn't cringing the whole way. It was a fun project. Jean enjoyed giving it, you could tell. She gave it with a lot of confidence. I noted that she excelled at the use of body language, which was the purpose of the project. She had all her serving mechanics, and then when she spoke, she had big natural gestures. She also had some really great pauses when she was speaking, good vocal variety. She was making good eye contact, all the various aspects of a well-delivered speech. I think one thing that Jean might want to work on, or one possibility, would be to have some dialogue from the other players. Whereas the way she told the story, she said the boys were aghast and they were running over and the girls' mouths were open. I just thought it might be fun for one boy to run over and say, "I'm so sorry, I never hit a ball that hard. Are you okay?" Sometimes that might be better than just talking about it. You know, a little dialogue might be fun. To challenge yourself, that's one item on my evaluation form. I think a nice thing to try would be to try to frame this talk in terms of a life lesson. That is the way you often see an inspirational speech in Toastmasters. Pretty close toward the beginning, they'll say something like, "Fellow Toastmasters, have you ever had a situation where you got a huge surprise, but you overcame it anyway?" And then you wrap around to that at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives the audience the feeling that, oh yeah, that's what's in it for me. I can learn this lesson from that story.
Mhm.
Otherwise, lots of fun. Glad it's over. But I do look forward to more. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dan. Very good, Jean.
Mhm.
Very good. Folks, I'm jumping back and forth. Okay, now we're going to be moving on to our table topics master, Mr. Karthik Napa. Karthik, it's all yours, bud.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Toastmasters. Okay, I have seven questions, I believe. No, 6 questions this time. Unfortunately, I don't have 8. So I would like to have a volunteer and the number between 1 to 6, which you would like to pick. Am I audible? Okay. Can I have a volunteer, please? Yep. Art.
Or good.
Art. Please let me know the number which you'd like to pick between 1 to 6.
3.
3. Okay. If you knew what you know now, given a second chance, would you change something that happened in your life?
Oh, good.
If you knew what you know now, given a second chance, would you change something that happened in your life?
Hello, Toastmasters. I'm laughing inside when I think about the occasion that came to mind immediately on hearing this question. In 1963, I was a big 11th grader at Ingram High School in Northwest Seattle. And I had what I thought was a girlfriend who was a little 9th grader. She was actually the second daughter of family friends, and I was a very novice Romeo, and I had invited her to attend the senior prom as my date. As a 12th grader, when the senior prom rolled around, I had moved on and I had a different girl that I wanted to invite to the senior prom. And I remember sitting in the 57 Chevy station wagon with her in the driver's seat and me in the driver's seat, telling her that I was not going to be able to continue with my original invitation. I was taking someone else to the prom, and I inflicted this disgrace on poor Jonna as a 9th grader, and she was just heartbroken, angry. I can think of a million words she could probably have used but didn't. And I have never gotten over the embarrassment of how clumsy and cruel I was to do that to her. Thanks for letting me think about this again.
Thanks, Art, for sharing that. It's a good one. Okay. So now I have questions 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Jean, would you like to go for second?
Well,
Or
I really should go behind somebody else who hasn't
Okay.
spoken yet. So
okay. Sure. Any,
I just wanted to make
volunteer?
sure someone.
Sure.
I'll go
Bob?
grab it. If someone wants to time me,
Sure. I can time you. Yep.
okay.
Okay. So questions 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
We'll go number 5.
Yes, second. Okay. Number 5. Have you had a second chance in your life that has made a change in your life or others' life? Oh, that's made change in me. Sorry, I'll repeat the question. Have you had a second chance in your life that has made a change in your life?
Thank you. Table Topics Master. Have I had a second chance? I think most of us have had many second chances, third chances, and on you go. When I reflect back, who gave me the most second chances? I would think my mom gave me the best second chance. Being a young boy, influenced by this, that, and the other, one time I decided I was about 13, 14, there was this nice, shiny pocket knife at a store. And it was so shiny, like a little fish hook going through the water, that I just kind of reached in there and it went in my pocket. Didn't think too much about it. Got home, and of course, Mom, she puts my clothes away. And guess what she found in my underwear drawer? She found this tiny little pocket knife. And instead of telling my dad or yelling at me, she gave me a chance to redeem myself. How, may you ask, would she do that? She said, why don't you take this knife back to where you took it from? Oh my, I had to face the person I stole this knife from? I agreed reluctantly. As I walked in the store, as the manager came over, I pulled out this knife, and in motion with tears, I had to return the knife and ask for another second chance to still shop in the store with my mom or my family. The manager gave me a second chance, and I thank my mom for handling so delicately that I never stole again. Thank you for the question.
Go on, Bob. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, I'll send you the timing in the chat. Okay, so next volunteer, please. You have 1, 2, 4, and 6. Dan or Alex? Okay, Dan. 1, 2, 4, and 6.
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay, I thought this question would come to Jean, but anyway.
Oh,
So given a second chance, would you have played a different sport or a different instrument during your childhood or school days? Given a second chance, would you have played a different sport or a different instrument during your childhood or school days? Thank you.
Mr. Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. When I was going through school, I played a lot of sports. I played baseball from the age of 8 up through high school. I played football from 7th grade through high school. I even tried basketball, and I was terrible at that, so it didn't last very long. If I had a second chance, I would not play football. I grew up in the panhandle of Texas. Texas is a state that is known to be rabid about their high school football. My father had been a college football player, and he liked the idea of me playing football. After I played through junior high, I was always just about the smallest kid on the team. When I got to high school, that was still pretty much true. And I didn't enjoy myself. We were not a great team. I was not particularly talented. I was a pretty fast runner, but that was about it. I believe it was after my 9th grade year, I told everybody I wasn't going to play football anymore. And my dad said, okay, that's your decision. But it was obvious he hated the idea. He just moped around. The head coach of the high school team came to visit me. I had given the excuse that I wanted to concentrate on my studies. He came to visit me and he showed me the straight A transcript of the current captain of the football team. So they talked me into it. I played 3 more years of football. If I had it to do over again, I would not play football. I would just stick to my guns because it was not fun overall.
Thanks, Dean. Okay, now we have 1, 4, and 6. Jean and Alex.
A before J,
Sorry.
A before J, Alex before Jean, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I am evaluating. If someone can evaluate me, I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Do I have a pen? Okay, I can evaluate you.
Yeah, okay.
Also, we have a guest here, Gamal Hamid.
Yes. Gamal, are you, if that's how we pronounce it, I've just said hi to him or her.
Yes, yes, that's correct. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. If you wanna step in a little bit more or, whatever.
Sure, I just saw the WhatsApp message now, so I just joined. I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy to be here.
Okay. You're with the Beck, right? The Beck,
Yes,
the group. Okay.
yeah.
Well, good. We're doing what's called table topics, which is impromptu speaking. It's very good for practicing and getting your impromptu muscles going. And, if you feel like you want to give it a shot, we're coming down the end of it, but you can see what we do. We get a question and then we have up to 30 seconds to think about it. And then we have 1 to 2 minutes to put it together and, and go from there. So just to let you know, guests are open to participating. And we do know Bibek, and he's very, very interested in Toastmasters and the skills and all. So we're just glad you're here.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad also to be here.
Yeah, good. All right, well, I'm up next. So,
Sure. Okay, you have 1, 4, and 6, Jean.
all right, how about we do 4?
4, okay. Okay. If you are given a second chance to relive a particular day in your life, what day would you choose to relive? If you are given a second chance to relive a particular day in your life, what day would you choose to relive?
Oh. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. I know exactly the day that I would want to relive, but the reason I'd want to relive it would be to completely change it so that it didn't happen, because it's something I can still get nightmares about. And I've given a talk about it before. I'll just mention the brief synopsis. I was a bank officer in the 70s in Denver. We had a fun-loving president, and he had a very good relationship with our young, cute, perky receptionist. And he sent her a card when he was in Hawaii that somehow implied this was her, and it was a person who had a very tiny bikini on. So I took that as, a little harassment on the job. And so I said, let's play a joke on Charlie. You pick out this is me to Kimberly, who was the receptionist, who was my report. I said, let's do a joke on Charlie, pick out something that's kind of like that for Charlie. And then at our bank meeting, we're going to say, and here's Charlie, and we're going to hold it up and like that. To my horror, what happened was, so the whole bank is there. Charlie's been talking, and I make this announcement about how we have something we want to show about Charlie. And Kimberly has never shown me the picture that she's picked out. And she's looking a little nervous. And I'm saying, no, it's okay. We'll do this. Okay. So I look at Kimberly and I go, hit it. And so she opens up this magazine. It's a 2-fold spread, and it is pornographic male thing. I mean, totally pornographic. I just went, oh, that my fellow officers are like shaking their head. So I left, and the rest of the day, people kept coming up and going, "What were you thinking?" And I said, and Charlie even looked at me like, "Oh, you're just worse than what's on my shoe." And I just said, I didn't know. I didn't see the picture, but it was like ridiculous. So if I could have it over again, I would completely cut that day out. Don't go in. Don't go in, no matter what.
Okay. I didn't expect that one. Alex, you have 1 and 6, I believe. Yes.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just finishing
Yeah.
one sentence. To
Oh, it's
All right.
horrible. It's still just cringe. Oh,
I think you just relived that day.
oh God, it's awful.
all right. What are my options?
1 and 6.
Number 1.
Number 1. Would you give second chance to somebody who hurt you or who did you wrong? Would you give second chance to somebody who hurt you or who did you wrong?
Dear topic, thanks for the question. Topics master, fellow Toastmasters, and our honored guests. Of course, I would give second chances. I have brothers. I gave many second chances. Yes, I would give second chances to people that, and I did many times. Like I said, I had brothers, but I believe that we learn by making mistakes as well, not by just doing things right. So, and sometimes those mistakes in some situations, we can hurt people's feelings. So I was always someone that understood that people make mistakes, and in order to grow in life and in order to grow in a relationship, you have to also communicate what hurt your feelings. So give the other person the opportunity to make it better. However, if that happens on the second time, then the story changes. Then maybe I wouldn't be so nice. I wouldn't be so understanding. Then I would reevaluate that relationship and see if that's, maybe we have different ways of learning things, and maybe not giving opportunities will help the person to grow. But thank you for the question.
Thank you, Alex. Kemal, would you like to try a question that we have, or? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Would you like to try table topics question that I have?
Okay, I will try.
Okay. If you believe in second chance, is there anything that a person could do that would make you feel that they don't deserve one? If you believe in second chance, is there anything that a person could do that would make you feel that they don't deserve one?
Okay, so is it like yes or no answer? Do I have to answer in that way, or like I have to elaborate a little?
Elaborate. You can
Yeah,
say yes or no.
Elaborate and speak for probably 1 to 2 minutes.
So I have to come up with a story, like how I know the person and like or how he feel, how he makes me feel. Then is that how it should be?
That could be one way to go about it. Question's pretty much open to your deciding how you want to handle it. And you have up to 30 seconds to just be quiet and just think about it.
To
So
think about it.
yeah, that's like life. You don't have to immediately pop out with an answer.
And Kartik, could you please repeat the question?
Sure. If you believe in second chance, is there anything that a person could do that would make you feel that they don't deserve one?
Mhm.
I don't really understand the question actually. Like, so
You
if I
rephrase
have
this
the second
question.
chance, if I have a second chance,
Mhm.
then like let's assume I know someone before. So then in that case, what will be the condition?
No. So my question is, like, if there is a person who does something, who does something to you that would make you feel that they don't deserve a second chance.
Like you would have considered giving them a second chance, but because of something they did or something they said, you
I
decide,
wouldn't give
no,
them. Okay,
yeah,
okay,
not worth it, not worth it. Doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, so many people. So like I can mention from my personal relationship, I can mention some of like from my friends, like some bad friends maybe, and I can mention some from my colleges when I was working for some companies. So all of the people are not nice. Like there are some like people that have like this negative. So like not only for me personally, but for the whole group. So they just we assume they ruined like the environment or something. Maybe we are the ones on the wrong side, but like we as some groups we assume like someone is poisoning the environment or something.
Mhm.
So like yeah, I have such like scenarios or stories.
Mhm. Can you give us one example? Like pick a personal one or a work one, or tell us what happened.
Okay. So like if
Just
I have to go into detail, how I will present it now will be the question. Okay, then. Yeah, so I am normally like I used to work as a software developer before. So like we are a group of like normally in software development there would be like some projects. So we develop the software, or like maybe in some cases like there would be hardware and software things. Then like always like I had worked like for 4 years in one company. Then inside that we are like team, like we have team division in every like project. Then we always grouped into the same because we have been like working. We know like how to work some areas. We specialize in that areas like our team. Then there is this one guy. So like that Reunus, he has like a good relationship with the leaders in the company, but we don't like they actually trust him. I don't know why, but they don't like they communicate with him like personally, especially the leaders. Like there is like team groups in us. Then there is like one manager above us. So this manager talks with him. They know him. They know personally. Like they have been studying together or something. So that they have like this personal relationship. So like this guy ruins like our group. So like we can't complain to the company, like because we have to like make complain to the manager, but the manager has like a personal relationship with the guy.
Mhm.
So like they ruined like everything. So we just everyone in my group like then resigns from the company because of this condition. So
Hmm.
Right.
Okay.
and then this was like one of my. So if I have to go back, for example, like so I would join like a different team. If I know this person now, like I already know him, so I will join because in the first time we had like this. We can make choices. So in the first 2 years, everything was smooth. So, but after that, we can't change because the company has invested so many things in us. He trained us, so we have been working for the company for 2 years. Then we can't change at the end. But now, if I have to go back, I would join like different company because I personally know like that guy or my friends also know that guy. So maybe this could be.
Okay, thank you, Gamal. Thank
Okay.
you.
All
Thank
right.
you for participating. Yeah.
Yeah, good job jumping in like that. Mhm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, everyone. Jump back here. Alex, are you ready to go ahead and give the tabletop evaluations?
Hey,
Yes.
How many people do you have? 5 or 6?
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5.
Okay. Do you want your 4 to 5 minutes? I mean, 3 to 4 minutes?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. I'll try. I'll try 3 to 4. 3 to 4.
3 to 4.
Should
Okay.
we vote?
Yeah, we should vote.
We should vote. Yes, we should vote. Send your votes to me.
Who
And
qualified? Who
The qualified, everyone qualified. Gamal, he did not qualify, but we were happy to have you speak up, so that was great. But
Well,
Thank
I was thinking we should give him the first time pass on
Okay.
timing, since he wasn't here to explain the timing. And, we didn't really explain it. We just were glad to hear his story and hear his voice.
Sure.
So could we do a first time?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay.
All right.
So Gamal is in there too. All right.
Reprisal of my first decision.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do it
Reprisal.
over again.
All right.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt, but what's this like? Now we are passing something. I'm qualified for something, so and make short. So at the end, like we have to be qualified. Some people will fail or something like that.
Karthik, you want to explain since you're table topics master?
Okay. So each speech will be evaluated or will be timed by the timer. So if you are speaking within 1 minute or within 1 minute to 2 minutes 30 seconds, you will be qualified. If you exceed beyond 2 minutes 30 seconds, or if you are less than 1 minute, you will be disqualified. So that is what they're saying as being qualified or not.
And we just have friendly competition each meeting. So at this point, what we do is everyone votes and they send a private message to the Toastmaster, who is Bob, just saying, table topics and then the name.
Okay.
And so that's what that is. And so we didn't really, you weren't here at the beginning when we just go over the timing. So that's what we're saying is that you did such a good job. We just we don't want to disqualify you because of timing, particularly because we didn't explain it to you, and we were glad to have you participate.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for letting me pass you, Jean.
Oh, well, we love hearing new voices. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I was disqualified. Okay. So Bob mentioned that I was disqualified because of the timing or because of like other reasons. Just for my note.
No, you would have been disqualified because of time.
Okay.
But we're not disqualifying you because we did not make it clear to you when we were asking you if you wanted to go ahead and do it, how the timing worked. Because we have cards. At 1 minute, Bob was flashing a green card. At 1.5 minutes, he flashes a yellow card. So when you're a speaker, you're keeping your eye on those cards so that you know where you are and when you need to stop. And at 2 minutes, he shows the red card, and then you have 30 seconds to wrap up. But that was not something we were going to stop and totally explain to you. So, it's on us, but now that's how it works.
Yeah.
And so if it's all right with you, we will keep you in the competition for tonight,
Yeah.
because is that all right? Is that all right with you?
Yes, it's very clear. And so yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Okay. So next step is send Bob a private message, and Gamal, you can vote too.
Mhm.
So it's a nice thing about having names under everybody, so you know who everybody is.
You can also vote for yourself.
Yes, and you can vote for yourself, but only once.
Okay.
Okay, so
So you send a message to Bob Fogle.
right. TT for table topics, and then your vote. And then Alex, meanwhile, is going to be doing her evaluation of each table topic person. So we like to get a little feedback on that so that we're always improving.
Okay, so when I send message, for example, if I'm like evaluating Jean, you, so
Mhm.
like I have to
That's a
send Jean.
perfect choice. That is a
That-
perfect
I would-
choice. No. Go ahead.
I mean, like normally, like so when I send him, like I will write your name first, then like I will say like qualified or disqualified. Is that how
No.
I chose? I vote or
No,
it's
no,
different?
no. When Bob said who qualified, he said everybody qualified. And we've explained what happened with you. And so you know who you can send a vote for,
Yeah.
the pool. And so then you go, okay, so this is the person I want. And so then you just type in a message to Bob, TT for table topics, so that we don't get confused as to what we're voting on. And then the name, and that's it. And then Bob will tally it up, and we'll announce a winner at the end.
Okay. So I have to choose only one.
Only one. Yep. You only get to choose one, but you can choose yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Okay.
liked your first suggestion, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
No pressure.
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Is that clear? Is that clear, Gamal?
Yes. Yes. It's clear. And I will
Okay.
choose for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm joking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah. Okay, so Bob, now that we've had all that explanation, do you want to go back to Alex?
Yes, we'll go back to Alex. Alex, are you all ready now?
I am ready. Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay, I will start with my first speaker of the night. It was Art, and he got the message: if you knew what you know now, giving a second chance, what would you change? Would you change anything? Art greeted the audience, and he immediately remembered a time when he was a novice Romeo, and he invited a girl for the senior prom. And at the last minute, he picked another girl, and he had to tell the other girl that it wouldn't happen. And you can really see in his face that he, of course, recalled the frustration in the girl's face, but it brought him many, like a funny, in a way, memory. And I really enjoyed seeing Art just laughing. It was very, I say, spontaneous, very spontaneous. So my only suggestion to Art would be, what would you have done different? Just to include maybe at the end, what would you have done differently
Mhm.
if you had that second chance?
Mhm.
For Bob, the question was, have you ever had a second chance that made a big change in your life? Bob greeted the audience, and he recalled that his mom was the person that gave most second chances in his life. And then he recalled a time when I believe he stole a pocket knife from a store, and his mother found it on his drawer. But instead of telling his father, his mother gave him the second chance to return it to the store. It was such a beautiful story. my only suggestion to Bob would maybe, and let me just bring this back. He did a great job as wrapping it up by circling back to saying that, yes, my mother was the person that gave me the most second chances. My only suggestion would be, if you ever thanked her, it would be nice to know if you ever said thanks for your mom for this situation. Dan had the question, if you had a second chance, what would be other sports that you would play in school? So Dan recalled different sports that he played in school, including basketball, soccer. But the one thing that he would have done differently was not to play football. And he really developed his speech on that. But he said that his father was one of the big things of him going back was one of the biggest reasons for him continuing to playing football for another 3 years. I don't have any suggestions to Dan. You did a great job. I really like the speech. Jean had the question, if she, let me see what I said, what I wrote here. If she could relive a particular day, what that day would be. And Jean greeted the audience, and immediately she remembered the situation that she would relive that day, but just to change everything, to keep that day on. And it was a very funny story. And I really appreciate you shared that with us. Jean had great vocal variety and great gestures. The whole time she was really using her hands, and she was using her hands in the length of the square here. So it was very good. Kept everyone engaged in the story. And I also don't have any suggestions to Jean. It was a great job. Jamal had the question, if you believe in second chances and there is a person that makes you think otherwise, what would you do? And then he recalled a time when he worked as a developer for a company, and there was one person that he and his friends knew that was not trustworthy, but management didn't see that way, and they had to resign the position. Jamal, my only suggestion to you would be, of course, this is your first time, and we appreciate that you even gave the chance to try, but just take those 30 seconds. They are very valuable when you're trying to make the story in your head. So this way it's easier to speak. So I think that would be my suggestion, and just be mindful of the cards, of the time. So it's good to keep practicing that the time as well. And this is my report. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. Great report. Now, which evaluator qualified? Unfortunately, our evaluator did not qualify, but a wonderful evaluation anyways.
Neither evaluators qualified?
Uh-oh.
You probably have Dan
It'd
there.
be Dan and Alex.
Yeah. Yeah, Dan qualified.
Okay, so Dan qualified.
Yes. I didn't, never mind. Dan qualified. So anyways, you can vote for your best evaluator, which is the one who qualified. Moving on from that. Now it's time for our reports.
Yeah.
I am not
Goes back to Art, right? Art, I
Yes.
pass it off to you. Yes.
Yeah. So you voted for the best evaluator, and I'll call on Bob to give us the timers report. Take it away, Bob.
Okay, start off on table topics was Art had 2 minutes, 29 seconds. Bob had 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Dan had 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Jean had 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Alex had 1 minute and 43 seconds. And Gamal, he qualified. And then for the speech for this evening was Jean's speech was 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Very good. And then for our evaluators, the evaluator was Dan. He was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And Alex was 4 minutes and 54 seconds. And that's my report.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, and as the counter, Kartik, would you
Yes.
please give us your report?
Sure, Art. So Jean used and 3 to 4 times in a sentence, and she used and to connect sentences multiple times in her table topics. Alex used 6 times, so 4 times, 6 times, very 2 times, twice. Bob used the same word twice, but I didn't catch it because I was timing at the same time. Dan used to try twice in the same sentence during his evaluation, during speech evaluation. And Art was clean. Gamal used so and some repeats, but we can give the benefit of being the guest for the first time, for giving it a try. And that's my report.
Thank you. So as a grammarian, I noticed Dan used reprise twice. I didn't catch anybody else using reprise or reprise.
Bob,
I used it once.
You
yeah,
did?
I think
Okay.
Bob had a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Dan, as an evaluator, well, rather than switching gears here, sticking with my grammarian's report, Dan had the phrase that was real succinct, I'm glad it's over. Bob used the expression, Mom handled it so delicately, describing how his mother gave him second chance to redeem himself. Dan said, Texas is a state known for being rabid about its high school football. Very colorful phrase. Strong word, rabid. Jean used the phrase, I would cut that day out entirely. That's the grammarian's report.
Mm.
Now moving on to Alex, who is our joke master. We are breathlessly awaiting.
Thanks, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and our honored guests. So I do have some jokes here that you have to guess. So, what do cows most like to read? What do cows most like to read? No guesses?
Mm.
The green sheet?
Oh, catalogs.
Catalogs.
Analog, okay.
Why did the invisible man turn down the job offer? Why did the invisible man turn down the job offer?
He didn't like the dress code.
That's a good one.
Wow.
That's a good one.
I couldn't say doing it.
There you go. That was
What?
good.
What?
He couldn't see himself
couldn't
doing it.
See himself
Couldn't
doing
see
it.
himself
Oh,
doing it.
wow. Okay, that's a good one.
Good
Very
one.
good. So why do ghosts like to ride in elevators? Why do ghosts like to ride in elevators? No guess? Because it lifts their spirits up.
Oh, God, these are good.
Last one.
You are
What
the
did
riddle queen.
What did the ocean say to the sand? What did the ocean say to the sand?
Goodbye.
It said nothing. It just went.
It just waved.
It
It
just
said
waved.
nothing. It just waved.
Ta-da! That's all I have.
Okay. Ta-da! Yay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So my remarks are an evaluation of the job that was done by Dan and the job that was done by Alex in evaluation. Starting with Dan, he was full of praise for the things that Jean did well, and incidentally for himself in correcting all the technical problems so that she could shine. He had a suggestion for her that she include some dialogue in the story, but she actually did use dialogue in the story because the doctor came over. There was a bit of dialogue when the baseball players arrived and the doctor, or rather the team captain or whoever was the adult that was with them, she actually used dialogue for him. Other than that, it was a fine evaluation. Alex had a big job evaluating 5 table topic speakers. She was full of praise for what was done well. And I missed the details that she did well in her evaluations. I know that she particularly spent time evaluating Gamal and coaching him on use of the 30-second thinking time at the beginning and watching the clock or watching the timing cards. That's the end of my report.
Thanks, Art. That was a great report. Now we can move on to the meeting awards for this evening. And
The speaker.
the best speaker of tonight is Jean. Yay!
Yay!
Good job.
She already prepared the best speaker sticker.
Well, you know, I was the only prepared speaker.
You're a speaker.
So,
That's
So-
not
so this-
fair. That's not fair.
yeah, this was before you joined us where I had a prepared speech, Gamal, but we'll get to the table topics because that's where all of us are in competition.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was the only, yeah, but okay, I'll get my best table topics ready to go because you never know. Could
No,
be,
you are best. You deserve it.
could be my lucky night. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what we did, we have a drum roll here. As
Drum
we're all
roll.
suspense.
Da, 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 da,
Who won
da.
the table topics. And coming off the football field, it is Dan.
Dan. Oh, Dan. Okay. Kept it in the household.
Score.
Woo, score.
All right, Dan. Good job. And our evaluator this evening, our best evaluator would be, drum roll please, Dan. Young Dan.
Touchdown.
It's interesting. My evaluation was a second chance from last week.
Yeah. And Mel, that's how it's done around here. Well, that's what we do. And we want to thank you, Mel, for sitting in on this meeting tonight. And we hope to have you back again. We really enjoyed your input. And we know we put you on the hot seat spot, but that's just how we roll around here. And but we all have fun, and it's a good time. So we hope to have you back. Anyone else have any good things they got to say? Anything you want to share before I close the meeting?
We could ask Gamal. Gamal, is there one thing that you noticed or that you enjoyed about our meeting tonight?
Yeah. So my question is, I like the conversation, everything, the discussions. So because I wasn't aware what's going on in the first place, because I joined through the WhatsApp group from the MIU program, and the MIU I'm student here. So like how often do you guys meet? Is there when will be your next meeting?
Every Tuesday evening.
Every Tuesday. Okay, every week.
We have a weekly meeting.
Yeah, from 7:40 to 9.
Okay. That's okay. Good. Nice to know.
Alex?
Yeah, if you want to send me your email on the chat,
Yes. I will.
so I can send you all the information. I'll send you the link as well.
Okay. I will.
Alex.
I'm typing my. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Alex is our vice president of membership.
Yes.
So
We may have a special meeting in a different link next week. It's very rare for us to do that. It's actually something that we need to discuss quickly once the meeting's adjourned.
right.
We may be going elsewhere next Tuesday night, but we'll be back the following Tuesday.
Right. Gamal, so you can communicate with Alex and kind of get ducks in a row like that. You can look at toastmasters.org, which is the international website, but Alex can give you all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will ask Ali.
Yeah. We'd love to have you again and have you work your muscles. You work out your various muscles.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are from here, around here, Fairfield, or from different location?
Yeah, Fairfield. Bob is from Washington, Iowa.
Karthik is from West Burlington. Is
Yeah,
that right?
Karthik's from West Burlington. So
The rest of us are in Fairfield.
Okay, nice. Good.
yeah.
Okay,
So
Alex, you can send me your mail or some information.
Yes, I will send you. I'm drafting the email right now and I'll send it to you shortly.
And everyone is welcome. Can I invite my friends or someone else?
Yeah.
Please.
Is there any rule?
Yeah. No, you just have people can come and be guests and do just what you did.
Okay.
And then we're happy to answer any questions and, so love having people invite friends. The more the merrier.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Well, Gamal, typically we sign off about 9:00 and we can stay after as long as we like and chit chat with anybody that you like to, but just kind of let you know how it works. And I'm just going to officially close the meeting. But do appreciate everyone coming, staying after a little longer. It was a fun time. And we enjoyed our guests tonight. Had some good questions.